The first Angry Aussie video you saw was one about the Netgear router password. I vaguely remember that. I did so many such strange videos back in the day. Yes, it's on the bottom. I had such trouble trying to get the password for this router, and I forget if I'd written it somewhere, but it was actually in a little card on the bottom of the router. And that was a true life video, that one. Ugh. Oh my God, that was the angle of it, Megaleech. You told me it was on the bottom of the router? That's what happened? You guys have much better memories than me. It's all coming flooding back. Absolutely doing my head in, quite honestly. Let me, Angry Aussie router password. See if it actually comes up. Ugh, no, just a lot of tutorials on how to change her. Okay, wireless routers suck. I think that will be it. Shall we have, it's only 2 minutes. Shall we have it's when I was wearing the mask and everything. Shall we have a watch party of me wearing the mask? Yes, I've met Steve through YouTube as well. Okay. We'll have a little watch party. I've got to do the share screen, the Chrome tab, wireless routers suck. It's going to be a little window because this is very old. This is from 2007. So this is 12.5 years old. Look how young and pretty I am. Well, I've got a mask on, so you can't really tell. I'm also about 20 kilos lighter there, which is frightening. But anyway, oh, wait a sec. Where's the volume? Yeah, volume's up. Let's go.
G'day, viewers. I found myself feeling not very angry today, so I was thinking I might not even do a video. You know, I wasn't motivated, nothing to rant about. And then I tried to set up a wireless router. For all you youngsters out there.
Oops. I need to
It's actually much easier to add software and hardware to a computer these days than it used to be. I'm old enough to have gone through trying to install stuff via DOS and get the right drivers, overcome incompatibilities, and get a solution to difficult crap, all without the help of an internet connection. So your worst day installing hardware these days is pretty close to your best day installing hardware in the early 90s. A lot of the technical hassles are fixed, and that just leaves for the manufacturers to do something really fucking stupid. So I'm working my way through the installation process, and a little window pops up saying, log in. And hey, I'm doing my internet connection, so I thought it wanted my internet login details. Apparently not, because this didn't work. And there was no instructions, no prompts, no hint as to what the fuck I was meant to do now. So basically, I'm getting to the point of wanting to smash things. Seriously, fuck some shit up, because this is just getting to me. So I checked the directory on the CD, and there's actually a PDF version of a manual. Suppose it's cheaper than printing one. They could have given a hint that there was one there. Anyway, I look it up, and what I have to log in as is username admin, password. Now, why the fuck did they even set that up? If it's going to be something so basic and default, why don't they default those into the fucking setup and then tell you, oh, you ought to change these default settings? They just feed this thing to you with no instruction, and there's no big secret. Your fucking admin and password. What is wrong with these people? Actually, I haven't said it in a while, and this is a good opportunity. What the hell is wrong with you people?
All right, so that was the first one. Then I must have got a follow-up. Did I do a follow-up? Because yeah, there's comments from Megaleech here. And this is back when the comment system was very, very, very broken. So I can't even really. How can I sort them by? Sort them by newest first? No. Actually, look, I'm going to try something here. Maybe newest first. So put them in order. Maybe Megaleech's comments were together. See, my replies aren't there anyway. Okay, where are we? Oh, people, here we go. Look, see, there's Megaleech's comment. You probably can't read it. It's probably too small, but he's saying, my wireless router has the default username and password printed on the unit's base for all to see. I kid you not, had to roll my eyes at the stupidity of it. Bet your ass I changed the default password. And so may I require the brand? My replies aren't there for some reason. There's a Netgear. Oh, really dumb question. Did you ever look at the bottom of your router in the immediate vicinity of the barcodes for the serial number and MAC address? And I've obviously done it. Oh my fucking God, it's right there. And he's going, you made my night. Fuel for the angry machine. Use it. So that's a real thing that happened to me. There's a real thing that happened to me. Oh, David, why the mask? Back in the day, when I first started on YouTube, for about, I don't know, the first 18 months I was on YouTube, I wore a mask, or a variety of masks. And that was basically because it was all new and strange, and I was paranoid. And also because I was a contractor, and the Melbourne IT scene is sort of small and gossipy and conservative. And so it was literally to protect my identity. I didn't want it to interfere with my day job. After a while, I got sick of the concept of that. Okay, I found the follow-up one as well. Let's do another watch party. This one's even shorter. This the first one was called I Hate Routers. Oh no, it was called Wireless Routers Suck. And the follow-up's just called I Hate Technology. So I'll do a little watch party for that. Come on, play.
G'day viewers. Now, a lot of the newer subscribers have been asking me, can I point them to some videos where I get really angry? Normally you can tell by the title of the video. There was one a little while ago when I just had a bastard of a time trying to set up a wireless router, and I went off about how hard it was. Particularly, they'd set a default password and username and made it a little bit hard as far as I was concerned to work out what the hell that was.
Goes in the same thing.
And it dragged on for ages before I worked it out. Though, go watch the video if you want the details. But anyway, lots of people commenting, I hate technology, I hate technology. And one of my subscribers, Megaleech, happened to go, out of interest, what sort of router was it? It's a cheap Netgear. And he goes, I use those too. And they tend to print the default username and password on the back of the router. Have you looked there? And we go right down here. It says username, admin, password. I didn't happen to look. And when he essentially made that stupid, I took it like a man. I didn't get, I hate technology! Oh, and
It's good. Oh yes, Gecko, you had an Americanized Kinder Egg. Tell you what, that's a good thing because on the socials, I was talking to Gecko. He was going to show us an Americanized Kinder Egg. So I'm gonna do that to anyone who wants to. Join. Hopefully Gecko is going to join and show us an Americanized Kinder Egg after the conversation we had the other day at Kinder Eggs. But yes, anyone who wants to join can just use that link to join in. If we get a lot of people, it'll just be Brady Bunch style with lots of little windows in there. Isn't it weird how that stylized thing of the Brady Bunch, we're now really actually quite used to that sort of thing. Both, I mean, there are media shows that, you know, get so many people on, they do this. Like Lee's going to come on and say hello. Hello, Lee. There we go. I don't know if you've got any sound at your end, Lee. Yes, you can wave, certainly. Oh, now I think I can hear sound at your end. And he's Gecko. He's gonna.
Hello. Okay, I'm back in the car. I've got a headset this time, so cool. There's no echoes.
Excellent.
So I'm not sure how these. Can I full screen my own thing? No, apparently not.
You've got the thing in.
I'm not sure how these are packaged or sold in other countries. Here's
kind of
in
looks
America.
similar. It's egg shaped.
It's plastic. It's egg shaped. Yeah. It's plastic. I think it's broken because I can push in the side a little bit. There's a tab. You can pull the.
Yeah. Well, open up because here it's like a chocolate egg that you then break open, and it's got a little plastic container inside it that has some sort of toy. How does this one work?
This it says surprise toy inside. I've never opened one of these. It looks like it's foil. Okay, so it's two halves.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's like the toy's in one half from the looks of that.
Yeah, there's some kind of plastic contraption here. Maybe it's like a spoon or something. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
And this peels back. Yeah, there's some kind of puzzle toy or something in here.
Okay, something you have to put together. That's standard for a Kinder Egg.
It's like, let's see. There's like a whole bunch of different things in here. There's an orange-colored thing. It's like a container case or whatever. There's a picture of a...
Yeah.
Some kind of picture of a...
Is that a cartoon character?
Some kind of cartoon character. It looks like a squirrel of some kind looking through a telescope at eggs.
So it's chocolate on the other side, is it?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And there's a couple other things in here. There's a piece of string. I guess you can tie it to this. It's like a locket or something.
Yeah.
And then there's some paper. God, it's a fold-out instruction manual.
Oh, there you go.
It's like how to tie a knot onto the loop of the thing, and there's a picture on the other side of like different egg characters.
Oh, okay. There's a whole family of them. There you go. Okay,
and
so
then there's little like cardstock things. I have no idea. I guess you break them off and you get this character.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, the other side's got foil.
Yeah.
Instead of just plastic, it peels open.
So that must be the chocolate side.
There's no egg.
There's no egg. It's just what's it, like Nutella or something in there?
I don't know. It's I guess that's why it has like a plastic spoon.
All right, because you're meant to scoop that out. she's meant to scoop that out.
I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's clearly how they got around the worrying about the choking hazard.
So yeah, there's like white chocolate. Yeah, it's just like white chocolate. And these things, I guess they're more like Whoppers or something. They look like it.
They chewy.
They're crunchy on the outside. They got a soft, gooey center.
Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah, when you're used to Kinder eggs, I started Stella saying that looks a bit disappointing. It's it is a bit disappointing compared to a traditional Kinder egg.
It tastes fine, but it doesn't say Kinder Egg on it. It says Kinder Joy, sweet cream topped with cocoa wafer bits.
There you go.
Warning: choking hazard. But yeah, I guess there is a toy, but yeah, there's no chocolate. There's no magic of how they got the toy inside the chocolate or anything like that.
Oh, Megaleech. Oh wait, I might be able. Megaleech is pointing me to something. I might be able to get that if I go over to YouTube. Let me see. Where's the live stream? Okay. Oh wait, what's it? Oh god, what's the bloody thing doing to me? Top chat? No, I want to see all chat. Right.
It's either top chat.
All right. So, Megaleech. So we.
I don't see any chat.
I don't think you get to see it. Yeah, Megaleech has told
I
me.
have a chat window, but I'm not sure if it's the same as what's coming through. I think it is coming through from the YouTube because it's got the little red play icon next to the.
All right, I'm going to show this one.
Things.
Here's Megaleech is joining us too. Hello, Daniel.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Okay, I found the video you were talking about.
I was going to share it, but that's okay if you've got it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do a share screen for a minute and show this Australian Kinder Egg opening video, so we can revel in an Australian Kinder Egg. Here we go. It's Kinder Surprise. Oh my god, that's pretty exciting. Watching them trying to open the exciting.
It is foil wrapped, not yours.
Yeah. See, this is a proper Kinder Egg because there's an actual chocolate egg in it. And then you crack it open, and there's the plastic thing inside it.
That's the dreaded choking hazard.
Yeah. Which is either sometimes quite good and sometimes really shit. Ooh, that's one. Oh, it's got a car.
It looks like a misshapen Easter egg.
Yeah, basically is. See, anything with a car is automatically good. Looks like you actually get to fire that car out. Oh, it's actual tie-in for the Pixar cars. The worst of the Pixar.
Oh, it's got propaganda in it.
Yeah, it's marketing. Yeah. All right, so yeah, you can actually pop that thing to push the car forward because you can't just do that with your finger. But I have to admit, I like Gadgeting Series. We need to put those stickers on it. No, it's not going to do now, just indicating that that's where they go. Cool. Instruction. Now show us. I need to see the car get popped. Yeah, see. Oh god, it's not even spring loaded. Okay. Yeah, no, he's worked out how it works. Yes, come on. No, make it go. I need validation. Come on, do it. Yes. Sorry, that was the payoff.
Now, I guess that white coating on the inside of it is like I have no idea what
That's
that
milk
could be.
chocolate. It's,
Yeah, well, the outside.
darker chocolate and then milk chocolate on the inside.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
remember
got,
those.
from someone. Did
They've got these candies here called Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrero Rochers.
Little gold wrap. Yeah, those things. I think I tried one of those and it's disgusting. I couldn't. I'm like, what was I thinking?
I'm not really into Ferrero.
I did not like it.
I'm not really into Ferrero. Yeah.
I don't know where it's
I
coming
don't know
from.
how anyone can stand those things.
Yeah. So.
Am I doing the Max Headroom Bowl again?
It's breaking up a little bit.
yeah.
It's breaking up a little bit. But now we are.
Yeah,
also
I don't have the best.
Gecko. I don't know if your headphones have slipped out, Gecko, or because I am hearing the echo.
That's
mute
weird
people
because
until
it's
you
only
find out
playing.
who it is, Andrew.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll keep talking. Okay. Yeah, it is still there. Sorry, Gecko. I'm just going to mute you for a sec and check. That should have. Yeah. Okay. That should have worked. I've got to wait 5 seconds and keep talking, babbling like an idiot. Yeah. Okay. I think it's at Gecko's end. Okay. It is. Wait a second. I'm trying to unmute you now. Come on. Why does that?
How it could be me because I'm only coming through my headphones. So.
Yeah. Well. No, but it's definitely there. I don't know what's happening.
I tried me, and it didn't work.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
I don't have a mute button on my.
Yeah. See, when you mute at your end, now I can't hear it. So the echo is definitely coming at your end. No idea why or. The technology, he's disappeared. He's going to try and fix something, I think. There we go. So, well, there you go. The joy and excitement of Australian Kinder eggs. Speaking of, I keep crapping boxes. I think Gecko's going to have another go at joining us now. It's all right. Let's see if that's any better. How's
Can
it going?
you hear me? Okay.
Can hear you, and I'm not hearing me. So whatever you did, fixed it. So there you go.
Have you tried turning it off and on again? That works.
Yeah, that's the miracle cure for technological ills.
Well, when I was working at iiNet, it fixed 90% of the phone calls. Have you tried turning it off and on again? And they're like, oh, shit. Oh,
Yeah.
It's working. Oh, thanks.
Oh, my God.
One of my computer classes back in high school, the teacher was like, they said, if the computer's not working, check to make sure it's actually plugged into the wall. Because that has happened, apparently.
Back in the day, in the 90s, in the early days of internet in Australia, my ex was working on the help desk for the big telecom provider in Australia, Telstra, and some of the calls she got was stunning because people just not being at all technically savvy. And this, computers were expensive there. Like a shitty computer would cost $2,000 to $4,000, and that was a shitty computer. And that's a really expensive computer now. And so to get on the internet was usually a couple $1,000s outlaid. And then with people didn't know what to do when they were on there. My two favorites, one was she's stepping someone through the process, and she said, and now, so right click on that icon and it should give you these options. No, that didn't happen. Oh, okay. So is your mouse working? Yes, I can move the pointer around. Okay. So you want the pointer to be on that? Yeah. Now right click and this menu should come up. No, it doesn't. Something's wrong. And it goes on and goes. And she eventually says, are you clicking the right mouse button when I say this? I know how to click the button. I know how to click it right. And then she went, no, wait. I don't mean the correct mouse button. There are two buttons on the mouse. One's on the left, one's on the right. And they went, oh. So that became our generic term for someone who really didn't know technology at all. They were right clickers.
Well, there was also the can't see the printer, but the monitor's turned towards the printer.
Oh God!
Or they're trying to scan their document by holding it up to the monitor.
Yeah.
My favourites were the PyFoc era and the ID10T era.
Oh yes.
So problem in front of keyboard and the ID10T. Yeah.
Yes. And there was a priceless one with this older guy, and he's okay. The echo's happening again, and it's way worse. And it's your system doing it again, Gecko. There's this older guy, and he's just bought a new computer, the first computer in his life. Like I think he was in his 60s or something, so she's stepping him through the setup, and he's following everything really well. He's doing this, doing the dial-up. She heard the modem noise, and then he's going, well, I still don't have any internet. And she's going, that's really strange, because you sounded like you did everything right, and it sounded like everything was working. And you go, no, I did that browser thing. I forget even what browser we would have been using back then. I don't know if it was bloody Mozilla or something else.
Explorer.
Netscape.
Yeah, it would have been Netscape. Yes, thanks, Gecko. It probably would have been Netscape. And anyway, the guy's going, no, I don't have any internet. And she goes, geez, could you just describe to me what you're actually seeing at the moment? And so he describes the screen, which was the Telstra homepage. And so he goes, that's it. And he goes, it's not doing anything. I go, no, you have to do stuff. And he's like, clearly, I loved it because he outlaid thousands of dollars on the internet, and he had no expectation of what it actually was. And he got there and he goes, that's it. It's not doing anything. And it's just...
He was probably expecting the porn to come straight up.
Yeah. It was great.
I was probably expecting like Lawnmower Man, where like virtual reality like shoots out of the screen and music starts playing.
No, it was absolutely, he was clearly expecting a Lawnmower Man type VR experience, and the fact that it was this static page, he was super disappointed. And he's like, hey, is that it? And she's trying to find a way to not say it's sucked in. That's it. That's the internet. It's just like, I loved him because people told him the internet was a thing, so he did it, but he didn't know what was going to happen when he got there. It was like,
oh yeah, it would have been really funny if it was like a David Bowie tie-in, and then suddenly he comes out of nowhere and goes, let's dance.
Bowie was big on the internet in the 90s, actually. For mainstream people, he was actually remarkably switched on with understanding the internet. There was actually the early days of Bowie.net was one of the more groundbreaking websites. He really understood it.
I know.
There's a few interviews you can still find on YouTube. It's astonishing how far ahead of the curve David Bowie was. He's a smart man.
Yeah, did you know he also apparently had Asperger's as well? Or
that
autism?
Wouldn't surprise me at all if he was on the spectrum. When you look at his creativity and somewhat obsessive behavior over the years, that would fit fairly well, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, David Bowie is a freaking hero because he knew he was dying, and he's still producing an album for it.
Yeah, and I think he dipped out on his own terms. No one near him was very open about it, but he got his final album out. The reviews came in, and it was a good album, and it got good reviews. And then they announced 2 days later he died, and I was like, I'm reasonably sure he chose the means of dipping out at that point because he had an untreatable illness. But I think he chose the day and the time basically, although none of the people near him really said anything about it because, well, that's actually illegal, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he went out on his own terms.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Strictly Safe, talking about Freddie Mercury. Yeah, he kept fairly busy right to the end. Oh, God, incidentally, I rewatched most of that Bohemian Rhapsody movie the other day. It just happened to be on when I was flipping around. I still enjoy that, even though it's so fictional. Like, fully 50% of the movie never happened. It's like, but Queen were involved in making that movie. And I'm going, why did Queen decide to tell a story that wasn't actually true? That's really weird. Oh, look, Gecko's worked out the toy. He's got the toy on the screen now. Class.
He's a kid again.
I mean, it's just a basic knot. It's just like a loop. Any kid could tie this knot.
I actually got a
It's
thing
just
like
the standard way of putting a closed loop on another closed loop.
Yeah. I got a thing like that out of one of those. I don't think it was actually a Kinder Egg. I think it was a similar thing, though. A zipper on my leather jacket was broken and little thing. And I got one of those a toy like that. And it's a little Spider-Man toy, I think. And I looped the string through the catch on the zipper because the tongue thing that you actually pull up and down, that broke off, but the zipper still worked. And so I looped the little string of that thing through there. Now I have this cute sort of Spider-Man dangling on my leather jacket that I use to zip it up and down. And it always gets people going, well, that's really cool. And I went, yeah, it's functional and necessary because the zipper broke. But it does look cool. Little Spider-Man going up and down the zipper. Oh, God. Okay, let's all reveal our ages. Strictly saying, who remembers the Big Boss cigar lollies? I do. They were these caramel fake cigars, and you're not allowed to call. Now they say they're dynamite.
Would that have been a country-based or region-based thing?
I think so. Some stuff crosses lines, but like we had lolly cigarettes called fags.
Called fags. Yeah.
Because that is the English and Australian slang for cigarettes was fags. And then that became a very bad thing to have on lolly. It was a double thing of there was laws passed saying you couldn't market things that looked like cigarettes for kids. So chocolate cigarettes went bye-byes and Big Boss cigars became dynamite. And fags changed their name to fads with a D, and they were just white sticks. But I'm old enough to remember when they were fags. Ooh,
if you share my screen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Fags. And then fads. Many fond memories of fags. The innuendo just writes itself, really. It's like I couldn't resist when I was in England because there's a food called faggots. It's like beef mince and gravy. These little beef mince balls. There's a very traditional English food called faggots, and so we'll be in the supermarket and there'll be frozen faggots. I couldn't resist. I went on Instagram holding a thing up. I'm just here hanging out with some English faggots because that's funny.
Oh yeah, then they've got a dessert called spotted dick.
Yes, you could probably have a good evening with some faggots and spotted dick. That's
yeah. I remember
Otherwise
Spotted
known
Dick
as
was
Florida
a joke
right
in
now.
the movie King Records.
Yeah, except no, spotted dick is quite popular. Stella wants to know if you can still buy fads. Maybe. I just think they're not very popular because they're just tasteless little white sticks. And it was fun when they had a red tip and you could pretend, ooh, I'm smoking. Maybe else. And I kind of understand not wanting to normalize smoking, but I never smoked, and I thought chocolate cigarettes and fags and Big Boss cigars were great. I never smoked, but you know, I know the idea. I am against the idea of normalizing cigarette smoke. Like, I really hate fashion or band photography or actor photography that uses a cigarette as a prop to go cool. That just annoys the shit out of me.
We have Big League Chew. It's like bubble gum. It comes in a pouch.
Mm. And because the baseball players would chew tobacco when they were out on the field, and so there was this shredded chewing gum called Big League Chew. I've seen that. And because that wouldn't have translated here because we don't get baseball and no one's chewing tobacco, so we wouldn't have understood it here. Although I have seen it in America. Yeah.
I haven't bought gum in a long time. I'm not even sure if it's still available. If it is, I'll let you know.
Yes. Gecko's our man on the ground, finding all the confectionery in the US for us, which is legendary. I love it. Like I said, that was my big thing when I was there. If I went past a petrol station or a convenience store, it's like, going in to buy something stupid, look out. And I remember doing a road trip with Corey, Mr. Safety, from San Francisco to LA. And when we stopped at a petrol station, they had the drink dispensing machine, and you could get a cup that was basically like a fucking liter. It was so big, this cup. And so I just got one of them and filled it up. And I go back to the car with some weird shit and this huge soda. And Corey and his then wife, oh, it was bigger than that. It was so much bigger than that. Not that size is all that counts, Megaleech. But yeah, it was like a KFC bucket. It was not much smaller than a KFC bucket. It was just stupidly big. And so I just filled up this drink thing and went back to the car. And Corey and his then wife were like, what are you doing? Why did you get such a big drink? I went, because I can. This doesn't exist in Australia. I think Gecko's playing with the comments. Oh, you're out of the car now.
Yeah, I'm out of the car. I'm back on the Wi-Fi at my apartment.
Cool.
So yeah, the Arco AM/PM Big Gulp 64-ounce cup is probably what you're talking about.
Hey, I've got to do a comparison. How big is that? Because I don't know.
60.
It's got a KFC bucket in the background of Megaleech's video there.
Yeah, look about that. Let me go.
So, like your large frozens at Macca's and thing, like Hungry Jack's here, is 20 ounce. So it's 3 times one of those.
No, I just looked it up. It's like 1.9 liters. I think it was the size of that KFC bucket. It was, no, those 64 ounces are 1.9 liters. Oh my God. And that's the one I got because I got the biggest one they had. Ooh, oh, he's got the Everclear. What percentage is that one?
That is the 95%.
Damn. Well, I actually ordered on the website. It was talking about
190 proof. Jesus.
Yeah, 190 proof. You basically.
It's got a warning in red there. It says flammable liquid, handle with care.
Yeah.
Do not drink.
Do not drink. You actually can't maintain a higher alcohol concentration than that because it just vaporizes at room temperature. If you go above that, as I said, the thing that I found amazing, if you hold that in your mouth is warm enough to vaporize it. You can feel it going away on your tongue. It's a really weird feeling. Just feeling this liquid.
What you're also feeling is it just going right into your bloodstream through your tongue.
Yeah, I think that's probably happening too. Yeah. So I did actually.
But there is technically a way to make it more concentrated, but it is like a very special scientific thing, and it's not traditional.
Yeah,
it's because the water and alcohol boil at the same point, so they can't distill it anymore.
Yeah.
But there's alternative methods besides distilling to get something more concentrated.
I guess that's true. Yeah. I did actually order stuff off that website. I was looking the other day. They had the green alcohol not as strong as Everclear, but it was pretty strong. And they did have 90% abstinence on site too, so that'll be for my birthday.
Well,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna get off and go do some more driving.
Oh, okay. I hope you keep getting some
I'll keep the stream on, but I'll get off of the video.
Okay, cool.
Before you do get off like that, can you rotate your camera to the table to see if that works?
You know, I think it does.
Yeah, that's better.
There you go. All right.
But I don't know if it's sideways. Is it on your end or not?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your shift, Gecko.
Okay.
Okay. Catch you later, man.
Au revoir.
Okay. I just noticed. What time at Gecko's place? It's very early morning. He's in Texas. Strictly Sega sent me a picture on Facebook that I definitely have to share. I have actually seen these. I think it's chewing gum. I know a place where you can get these. Without further preamble, I'm just going to have to show you this image. Camel balls, extra sour. I think that's chewing gum. I'm not, but yes, they're called camel balls. So that's special.
One of our local stores has those. I think a few other varieties.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I took some photos, so yeah. Leave it with me.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever bought them. But yes, very dodgy. Oh, Davey's saying drink the bottle in 10 minutes as a dare. Well, that's how people die. That's why you can't buy Everclear or the Polish rectified spirit in Australia anymore, because a couple people died because they were doing repeated shots of it, which is very, very dumb, because when something's that high alcohol content, it's super easy to get a toxic dose before you lose consciousness. And so, you know, with normal, even spirits, like, 40% alcohol spirits, you can, if you really put your mind to it, die from alcohol poisoning from just really getting into it. But you tend to vomit and lose consciousness before you actually get a fatal level in your system, because your body rebels against it and it takes you longer to take a fatal dose. But yeah, the 95% stuff, you unfortunately hit a fatal dose quite quickly, and it's perfectly possible to consume it before you lose consciousness, and then you die. Let's tell your local fish and chip shop calls.
Don't you not let drunk people lie on their back? Because they could vomit in their sleep.
It's not even that. That's yes, you don't. Someone who's just really drunk might choke on vomit while they're asleep. Alcohol poisoning actually shuts down your body's functions. Your heart stops beating, your lungs stop working. So it's like that much alcohol in your system that your organs stop working, and you die. So Gecko's promising to have a drink of the Everclear on camera sometime. I was like, oh, I don't know that I want to be. Well, you're the one who bought the bottle, I guess. The intensive experience of drinking him. Oh God, shell for me. You know some other gross named lollies: pig farts and sheep droppings. Okay. Yeah, no candy cigarettes or cigars, because that's normalizing smoking. Yeah, chocolate cigarettes. I don't know that chocolate cigarettes were ever very big in my youth, but I know they were around. I was much more into the fags and the Big Boss cigars. They were these bright pink, or even a pinky purple caramel flavored sugary thing. Yes, David, I agree. It's an absolute farce that alcohol's legal with the health damage and the social ills it causes, whereas weed is not going to kill you and is going to cause far less social ills than alcohol. It's like, alcohol leads to violence. I guess with some people, particularly if they sink into the paranoia, they might get violent. But most people on weed are like the opposite of violent, more likely to be the victim of violence because they're really boring and annoying and someone wants to punch them in the head.
Yeah.
Shut
Or
up.
they just fall asleep.
Yes. There's a lot of that action goes. I reckon everyone's run into someone who smokes way too much dope and is just like permanently fucked. It's just like you can never tell if they're stoned or not because you went through that, did you?
Yeah, I met someone.
Oh, you met someone? I think we've all met someone like that. I thought you were making a confession about yourself.
Yeah. No, I've never really tried it.
I remember way back in the day, back in the 90s, when I was going to raves and stuff with people and getting acid to take at raves. And I went with someone to his dealer's house one day, and it was full of people that were just fucking acid casual, because LSD will definitely fuck up your brain if you take, because it works by changing the chemical balance in your brain. So the signals that your brain send get confused and you start seeing things that aren't there because of the changes to your brain's function. And you definitely fuck your brain up if you do too much of it. And this house we went to was although this guy was selling, was a very poor advertisement for his product because everyone in the house was really fucked up. And I was like with my mate going, I'm not scared, but I actually don't want to be here. This is awful. And the guy kind of wanting us to be friends, like, man, you look cool. Why do you come in here? It's like, no, dude, you're really fucked up.
That reminds me of Walter Bishop on Fringe.
Oh, I only watched a few episodes of that. I don't know it very well. What's that? Oh, Stella, the struggle to get CBD oil for chronic pain. Yes, we definitely need to move to the medicinal applications of cannabinoids, and quite honestly, the recreational ones as well. I think it's bullshit that go, no, you can't do recreational drugs. It's like all these things that are legal, like smoking and drinking, which is legal and kills so many fucking people and causes so many problems. But no, weed, which, well, you're smoking. If you're smoking it, there's obvious damage, the same as smoking cigarettes. But Jesus, it doesn't fuck you up like alcohol or tobacco does.
Yeah, it could have something to do with the fact that those that produce those products actually pay the government a lot of money.
That's what happened in the early 20th century, yes. Alcohol industry lobbyists paid to turn marijuana into a big boogeyman. And that's stuck ever since, which is ridiculous. But yes, as we see, more and more states in the US are legalizing recreational use of marijuana. Almost everywhere in the US, it's legal for medicinal purposes. The first experiments with medicinal marijuana are happening in Australia, but they're still only experiments.
Like ACT?
Victoria as well. There's like a legal dope farm in Victoria. Now, Dan Andrews is all over it, setting up a medical trial here. And yeah, that's the thing, Stella, because there's this dumb prescription. They won't let you have a legal supplement that can help with pain. So yes, you go and buy illegal weed. You are not the only person. I've known quite a few people who, it's almost a cliche to say someone's self-medicating, but that's what they're doing. They've got it doesn't work for anyone. In fact, for some people, cannabis actually worsens the particular pain they have. But for a lot of people, it's a pretty effective treatment for pain, and it's not addictive. It can definitely be psychologically addictive. And if you smoke too much of it, you find it very hard to stop. But it's not that hardcore physical addiction of opioids, which also, again, are physically far more dangerous than cannabis. The sooner we move to widespread medical use and, quite honestly, recreational use, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, like I said earlier, in Canada, if you get caught with more than a certain amount of kilograms of weed, you have to share it, apparently.
You have to share it with the cops. That's everywhere. If the cops catch you with drugs, they definitely take them. There was a very weird animation SBS used to run in like the 90s. I can't remember what it was called, but the animation was done by the same guy who did a series I really liked called Home Movies. And the same guy wrote that one about the heavy metal band, Metalocalypse. But Metalocalypse is a very different animation style. This is really weird. There were a couple of animations that were done in this style where it was actually really wiggly, like the lines around the characters weren't steady. They were really wiggly. There was Dr. Katz, Professional Therapists, Home Movies, and this other one. And this other one that was just narrated by the guy who was a vocalist for a band called King Missile, who were most famous for a track called Detachable Penis, where, again, he doesn't sing, he just monologues over again. I have a detachable penis. It's really useful because sometimes it wants to get me in trouble and I can leave it at home. But, you know, I lose it all the time, which is really annoying. And it goes on and on. But he voice-overed this other one, and it was a very druggy one. And there was one episode where the guy's going, last weekend was good. I went to a rally where we were protesting people who take drugs. And I was like, what? That's all this guy does? And he just spent the whole time saying, yeah, we all got together and said taking drugs is bad. People should stop taking drugs. And there's like everyone now, there's like a Rasta or a stoner. You go, why are they all saying stop taking drugs? And then one guy gets on the microphone and he's like, yeah, I had some really good drugs at my house and someone took them. That's not cool. And it's like, for the first 5 minutes, you're just this whole thing about people should stop taking drugs, but you're all clearly on drugs. But then when, no, people should stop taking my drugs away from me. It was actually pretty good. Ah, there you go. Shelf warmer knows what it was. It was a dude in a beanie, and neither of us can remember the name of it. Oh yes, I remember that song too, Stella. It's the reefer, do you want some policeman? It's the reefer, do you want a blast? That was released, the artist name, The Mindless Drug Hoover, the reefer song. See, I remember that. Why can't I remember? Okay, I'm going by process of elimination because I'm on the goddamned internet. I'm going to look up one of the animated shows and find out who the person is who made it.
Kind of reminds me of Round the Twist.
Except for kids, yes. All right, Home Movies, I'm sure was the same person. Okay, Home Movies. Who made it? Look up the Wikipedia entry. Created by Brendan Small. That was his name, because the character in Home Movies was actually called Brendan Small. Okay, film and television. What else? Film and television. No, he made Home Movies. That was, oh, he was actually an actor in Reno 911. That's pretty funny. Okay, yeah, and he worked on other ones much later. Squidbillies, Venture Brothers, Metalocalypse, Frisky Dingo, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Bob's Burgers. He's done voice stuff on. So yeah, okay, I know he's a musician. So he actually does the music for Metalocalypse. So it wasn't Brendan Small. All right. Maybe it was the other one, Lauren Bouchard. I'm going to find this. I'm absolutely going to find this. Okay. What there you go. Oh, was it Tom Snyder? Anyway, I'm going to look up each of these names. Lauren Bouchard, filmography. Yes, he did work on Dr. Katz. I knew he did. Science Court, Home Movies, Mr. Bean. Okay. Bob's Burgers. Oh, there's a Bob's Burgers movie coming out. Awesome. Bob's Burgers is one of my favorite animations at the moment. Okay,
I will take my son to watch it.
Oh, it's a great show. Okay, was it Tom Snyder? American animator. Yeah, he did Squiggle Vision. First success was Dr. Katz. Yeah, and he had the production company called Soup to Nuts. Okay, I'm going to go sideways, and I'm going to look up King Missile because he was the voiceover for this series. So, King Missile. Members. Writer John S. Hall began presenting his work as open mic. Okay, so it's John S. Hall. So what else did John S. Hall do? This has got to give a participation of early bands, King Missile, books, stage name, discography, participation in poetry, early bands, King Missile, books. That's the other one he's famous for, besides Detachable Penis, was Jesus Was Way Cool, which is very funny. Writing and performance styles, stage name, legal career. He went to law school and graduated cum laude from a law school in Manhattan. Okay, and he became a lawyer specializing in entertainment law. He became a lawyer. That's fucking hilarious. Family references. 9 Inch Nails he did stuff with. Okay, with King Missile he did stuff. King Missile 3, King Missile 4, Unusual Squirrel, Real Men, Solo. Okay, I'm super pissed off. It's not there. Okay, now I've just got the shits. I've just got the wait, Gecko's coming back.
Just pull a Daria impression and be like, that's just pathetic.
Yeah, no, that's not working for me. Okay. Yeah, so that didn't work, which I'm really pissed. Yes, Safa, I do like to eat Melbourne burgers. Thank you. Yeah, strictly speaking, Jonathan, well, Jonathan Katz was, oh, could it have been Jonathan Katz? Is that what you're saying? Oh, Steve, you had to go away and get some interviews in the can. Now you take a break. Nice. Yeah, I usually hang out for a while. Maybe it was Jonathan Katz who was in the thing. Okay, I'm gonna fucking go. That's the last possible thing that I might have been mistakenly associating things with. Tom Snyder, Squiggle Vision, Dr. Katz, Professional Therapist, which was a great show as well. Wow, there were 6 seasons. I thought there was only like 2 seasons of Dr. Katz. There were 6. Voices of Jonathan Katz. That's right, H. John Benjamin, the guy who's Archer, was in a lot of these animations as well. Okay. Why is technology just being so evil to me? Please just show me Jonathan Katz, American comedian. He voiced Eric Robbins in Adult Swim home movies. He's diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. That's unfortunate for him. Career. He was in Dr. Katz, therapist, created the show Raising Dad. He's in the main series home. No, it wasn't him. Okay. Well, I'm just going to die not knowing this, and I hate that. Ugh. The universe hates me. That's what's happening.
That reminds me of Wayne's Manifesto.
What?
Wayne from Wayne's World. God, so if you're just mentioning Melbourne burgers, I'm haven't had a burger in a while, and I do like my Melbourne burgers. Thursday's usually burger night in the Angry household, and we actually haven't for the last 2 weeks. I mean, technically, because our favourite places are all still doing takeaway, and we always got takeaway anyway, brought it home. Now you've got me thinking about burgers. And lucky I had homemade fried chicken tonight that I made, which was very yummy. So I am sated food-wise, so that's okay.
Please stop talking about burgers. We are in quarantine on the northwest coast of Tassie, and that's my normal sort of meal.
Yeah, that's pretty savage, the quarantine they put you under.
Yeah, this is day 3 today of being shut in the house with the door locked, no one in, no one out.
Well, for how long?
Doing it for 2 weeks. That's what the state government has mandated for us northwest coasters.
Yeah, a bit harsh. There were at least, because a rumour got around that this outbreak happened because a bunch of medical staff had an illegal dinner party together and spread it amongst each other. That apparently has since been refuted. They said, no, that was just a rumour and it didn't actually happen. But
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, because you really don't want to be put in such a shitty situation by people being dickheads when they should know better.
I know that a lot of people in the medical industry that I'm sort of associated with have been saying on their Facebooks that it's pretty rough that they've been treated or accused of this sort of thing when there's really no basis to it. So they're quite unhappy about that.
Yeah. So that rumor went around for several days, and then it was like investigated. And then I think the chief medical officer said, no, that didn't actually happen. That's not a real thing. That's not a thing that happened. And I think that didn't happen, got less media than the rumor that it did happen, quite honestly.
Fairly typical.
Yeah, very typical, very typical. Well, strictly...
There is also...
Sorry, Lee, go ahead.
There's also that rumor that the government, to people that work in government, they're very racist. And I heard firsthand from an Asian friend of mine that they are, in South Australia anyway.
Oh, there's lots of racist people in government. There's lots of racist people around in government. Lots of Asian people have found themselves getting threatened and abused on the streets. There are some very unpleasant people out there, but yes.
Yeah, I was on a bus once and someone's like pointing at a Chinese lady going, she's got coronavirus, she's going to give us all it. And I'm thinking, no, dude, no, dickhead, just sit down or leave the bus. Yeah.
There's basically just no shortage of dickheads in the world, essentially. Well, I just felt compelled to look up news of like the NT has had no new cases in over a week.
You should put up that website you show at the end of streams normally.
Oh God, the bloody Johns Hopkins numbers. I think they had a mistake today, actually. I want to check and see. There's a curse to our success. What is it? Herd immunity. We're all going to die. Australian flatten the curve means there's no chance of herd immunity. Yes, because we're limiting the number of people who are testing positive. Closing borders obviously worked. The curse is this: the nation's borders will need to stay closed. Yes, they will. And when we don't see new cases, people are going to go, why do we still have to have restrictions? It's going, because the second we lift the restrictions, boom goes the thing. It's possible. Obviously, the highest risk things internally are bars, and probably bars more than cafes and restaurants. And the sort of slightly less risky is, okay, everyone who doesn't work... Churches, yes, big mass gatherings like that. Still have limits on mass gatherings, but everyone else can go back to work. Like if you're not in bars or, and cafes can still do takeaway and, still ban mass gatherings, but if you're not working in, bars or restaurants, you can go back to work. And then we'd probably see a small increase in the number of cases. but probably at a manageable level. And then we might experiment and go, maybe we can reopen the restaurants, you know. And then we'd probably see more of an increase, but maybe it's still manageable. And then we go, oh, why don't we reopen the bars and just say there's the football's on, there's no, and then it's going to go. But still, the real kicker is the international borders. That's gonna stay. The lockdown is gonna stay till there's vaccination, basically. I don't think there's going to be international travel until we can get a vaccination.
Do you think nationalism and racism will ramp up in the wake of all this?
Well, it already has. It already has.
I mean, more like in a permanent fixture. So,
well, I think some opportunistic racists and xenophobes will jump on, but I mean, what?
Pauline Hanson.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What I hope happens is, you know,
they all get coronavirus and.
Well, yeah, that too. I hope they all get no. No, what I hope happens is people see the undeniable critical flaws in like neoliberal capitalism, the whole idea that profit is everything, and so therefore offshoring jobs, offshoring manufacturing, this is all good things because the big conglomerates get an increased share price and increased profits if they sack all the Australian workers and offshore things. But then when we have this critical event happen, it's like, oh, there's no manufacturing in Australia and we can't get stuff.
Do you think if all this happened, like was frame shifted 2 months earlier, that Bernie may have actually had a chance in the US primaries?
Well, yeah, I've seen that theory put about, and what put the kibosh on Bernie, like he did the unprecedented thing where he basically won the first 3 contests, which no one has ever done. And that so terrified the mainstream of the Democratic establishment, they dragged all the centrists in the room. And because Joe Biden did unexpectedly well in South Carolina, he was expected to do well. He was expected to do very well. But he even outperformed the most favorable estimates of how well he'd do. And the party people then just dragged like Mayor Pete and who was the other centrist, the woman, but the one who hated Mayor Pete. Like it was hilarious how much she hated Mayor Pete. We forget these names already.
So basically what you're saying is as candidates dropped out, they supported Biden, and so their following stacked on with Biden, as opposed
including
to
Sanders.
Yep. Thank you, Stella. Tulsi Gabbard. That was the name I was trying to think. She hated Mayor Pete with a fucking passion. It was absolutely hilarious to watch. And so what clearly happened is the establishment said, okay, you 3 are splitting the establishment vote. That shit stops now. Biden just stormed in with South Carolina. It's him. And then I'm sure Tulsi Gabbard said, okay, that little shit weasel's dropping out before I do. And so Mayor Pete, being the obliging little shit weasel that he is, announced he was pulling out. And then straight after, Tulsi Gabbard announced she was pulling out. And then the establishment just put all the thing on, Joe Biden's the one. And the voters went, okay. And the focus that had all been on Bernie Sanders just flipped to Biden. And it's not corrupt. Like some people went, it's a fix. It's not corrupt. It's a slimy political deal, but it's not corrupt. As the establishment just went, Bernie Sanders, fucking hell, he's going to fuck everything up. So they put all their power behind Biden. And honestly, I'm impressed that it worked because I didn't think it was going to work. I'm really impressed the degree to which when they just channeled the entire message to ignore Bernie Sanders, vote Joe Biden, voters went, oh, okay, sure, I'll do that. And I'm like, But it was such a fine thing because it's like first 3 contests is like Bernie, and all the second and third places kept changing. Like there was no clear second place. And Biden was doing worse than expected. Like Biden was looking like a fucking joke. Biden was looking like a write-off. And then South Carolina comes and he absolutely blitzes it. And they went, oh, fuck me, he actually does have the support in the southern states. We kept saying he did, but we weren't sure we believed it. But he really does. And they just said to all the establishment candidates, get the fuck out. It's Biden. And they went, okay, you know, I want a gig out of this. And yeah, and they put all their weight behind Sanders. And like I said, I'm honestly impressed it worked because I didn't think it would. But it did. And here we are.
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah. So it's like that. Oh, yes, strictly saying Warren let loose on Bloomberg, which was also hilarious. That was extremely funny when Elizabeth Harris ripped Bloomberg savagely. It was very, very funny. And I thought it was very funny when Tulsi Gabbard ripped Pete Buttigieg. It was hilarious how much she hated Pete Buttigieg. It was beautiful to see. But yeah, Stella, I honestly don't understand really why African Americans love Biden so much. It's partly the Obama link, but also over many decades, Biden, he's a relationship guy. He's a feel-good guy. And he had that in his favor, but it's weird.
And who didn't love those Obama-Biden memes? They were great.
They were. The Joe Biden memes were hilarious. I loved them. I think that's how he got the vote. He just kept going around to people, I'm the guy from the memes, remember me? It's like, that was ridiculous. Safa's asking, did they pay off the other candidates? I don't believe they literally paid off the other candidates. I do believe they went, yeah, you'll get a job, okay? Okay, but you're not going to win, so do the right thing and pull out all together, and we'll look after you down the track. I don't believe they were literally paid off. I don't believe it was literally corrupt. It was just typical slimy backroom political deals, which is not illegal.
Standover per people.
I reckon they probably stood over Mayor Pete. Like, I don't think anyone likes him. It's just like, isn't there? Shut up, you little fucking weasel, and do what we say. And then Tulsi Gabbard said, I'm happy to go along, but make that little dickhead pull out before I do. Pete's going, okay, I'll do that. She's going to punch me, isn't she? It's like,
I had the funniest.
Sorry, go Lee.
I had the funniest dream that Joe Biden was singing FDT Part 2.
He was doing what?
The song where it's like F Donald Trump, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, why am I having this dream?
He probably does at parties, honestly. I reckon, I honestly think Trump's going to, unless Trump gets totally taken apart by coronavirus, which honestly seems pretty likely because it's really exposing his incompetence very badly. But failing that, I was always the opinion Trump would fucking slaughter Biden in a general election.
I concur.
Yeah, he absolutely slaughter him because Biden doesn't inspire anyone. You know, Trump inspires fucking psychopaths, but he inspires them. You know, I laugh every now and then on Twitter. I post something along the lines of, I would like a Biden supporter to tell me a single policy of his they're excited by. And no one has ever replied because there is nothing that Joe Biden is doing that's an exciting policy. It's like, well, it's not Donald Trump. That's not a policy. That's not a policy.
And apparently he's keeping the Second Amendment, you know, the guns and all that.
Oh, yeah, no, Biden's incredibly conservative. He was friends with segregationists.
So a conservative friend of mine who is a Trump supporter posted a thing on Facebook the other day. Joe Biden's sexual assault accuser Tara Reid files criminal complaint. So
yeah.
is there anything to that? I haven't really heard anyone talk about it. So.
I listened to, it's one of the podcasts I listen to. It's like a team effort. The guy who does the Behind the Bastards pod, and a couple of people who've had a long running YouTube channel called Some More News, and they teamed up and started a podcast late last year that was about this year. It was called Worst Year Ever, because they were just sort of projecting forward like this is just going to be a really shit, awful election campaign in America. A little did they know just how good the name for the podcast was with the descent of coronavirus and whatnot. But they did a really in-depth, fairly clinical dissection of the accusations against Joe Biden. And honestly, they're credible. And the number of people who, you know, like when the Supreme Court hearings with that weird guy who clearly sexually assaulted many women in his youth, denied it, and he got the job on the Supreme Court anyway.
Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
The one that interviewed Zuckerberg.
Possibly, but like all the left people who were going, believe women, support women, you know, the Me Too movement, and now someone has come out with a very credible accusation against Joe Biden, and they've flipped completely. To the extent that a couple of them have been exposed, they've clearly dredged through their whole Twitter timeline, and they've removed every tweet referring to believe women and whatnot. So there are some really fucking cynical people in the public sphere who are backing Joe Biden and don't want to give credence to this woman, Tara Reid, even though what she's saying deserves real scrutiny, deserves a real airing.
As it turns out he did it. Fuck that guy.
Exactly. I mean, I've actually seen this multiple times by people who think they're incitable. Sorry, who think they're intelligent, like on Twitter and stuff, saying, "Oh, even if Joe Biden is a rapist, he's not as bad a rapist as Donald Trump. Plus, he has better policies, so vote for him anyway." And going, "You are the worst person in the world. You are a terrible, terrible, terrible person." And
what's the solution for people?
Terrible liar.
It turns out. Sorry, go ahead. Okay, what's the solution for people? Like if I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I just said they're incredible liars if they're like Joe Biden's got really good policies.
Well, there's that true. Go, Megaleech.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so what I was saying was if it does turn out that Biden has acted badly, and it's obvious that Trump has acted badly, and they're the two candidates, I mean, you have to vote independents, or? Well,
clearly removing Trump is important. I don't know. I think
not going to happen.
If I was an American, I think I'd probably vote Biden and just like suck massively. I definitely wouldn't be inspired. I would definitely be joining people who are trying to continue pretty much the momentum that Sanders started, to have an actual progressive movement and to upset the fucking establishment of the Democratic Party, because I don't think there's any future in supporting the establishment of the Democratic Party. But in terms of the general election, I'd probably end up voting for Biden. Again, notwithstanding COVID-19, I think Trump will sort it. Although it would be funny to see them in a debate, because Biden has previously threatened to punch Trump in the face. And
Secret Service wouldn't allow. Come on.
He'd fucking do it. And Trump would do his big bluster, obnoxious stuff. And I think he'd set Biden off, because I think Biden's not all there, quite honestly. And I think he'd just sort of trigger something in Biden. And I don't think Biden would actually punch him, but Biden would be straight up on TV threatening to punch the shit out of Trump. He'd be like, "Up now, you, me, out the back, now, in the car park, you, me, Secret Service, fuck off, you, me." I reckon he would straight up stand there threatening to punch Trump.
Should organise a boxing match or something for them.
I just think it would be funny. Old man slap fight. Except I don't think Biden would slap. I think Biden would actually fucking punch. And
wasn't Trump on WWE or something there, like in a token?
He was.
That was just a money thing. But no.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But put them both in WWE, give them a couple of chairs each, and let them go.
Biden's a scrapper. He had a rough upbringing. I don't think Trump's ever had a fight in his life. I think Biden would straight up fucking snap him. And
no, Trump got his concierge to do it for him.
Yeah.
He's got thick skin made of orange, tan stuff.
Yeah, possibly if Biden punched him in the face, his fist would just kind of slide off and this greasy fake tan. But I don't think he'd get to punch him. But I honestly think if they did a debate thing, Trump would do his obnoxious bluster thing, and Biden would lose his shit and just start threatening to punch Trump. And I just think that would be hilarious. That would be great.
Then they'd be like, "Oh, so much for the tolerant left."
Oh, I fucking love that. One of my favorite ones of that is like someone's superimposed a Pepe head on as like a woodcut of a guillotine in the terror in revolutionary France, and as the Pepe gets put into the guillotine, says, "So much for the tolerant left," and the person just pulls the lever and the Pepe head goes bouncing off down. It's like, yep, this is going to happen. But, oh, look, I've run a little bit over because I got so fucking worked up talking about the American politics. I was going, hey, shall we pass with the depressing numbers?
Yeah. Oh, and Justin Trudeau looks like he could easily just give Trump a good punch in these photos.
He's too much of a sweetie. Justin Trudeau.
He is.
Oh, we're about to hit. They did correct it. The Johns Hopkins site I looked at earlier. They had the US at nearly 700,000 confirmed cases, which would have been a 20% jump in a single day. And I thought that can't be right, and it wasn't. They're corrected. But
screen share it, Andrew.
I am. Sorry, I'm going to screen share it. I'm going to screen share it before I go to bed. Tomorrow, we're going to hit 2 million confirmed cases worldwide. Hurrah for landmarks.
What percentage of that is US?
Well over a quarter. I reckon the US is going to wanting to be half of all world cases. So at the moment, 1.9 million, almost 600,000 of those are in the US. So the US is not far short of a third of all confirmed cases in the world, which is.
Do you think this is what he meant by, make the United States great again? They're on top of this list.
USA #1, and they're up to 24,000 deaths, which is, again, percentage-wise, that's a little bit high. Like, in a perfect world, the death rate would be about 1%, and that's like 2.5%, which is a little like double what you'd be hoping. And but there are obviously worse ones, like Italy's more than 10%. Even the UK is.
Did you say a 10% death rate for Italy?
Oh, over, with 150,000 cases, 20,000 fatalities. That's over 10%. That is very bad. The UK
is that due to other people who are sick for other things not being able to get the help that they need because the hospitals are overcrowded with coronavirus patients, or like a flow-on effect, or is it more coronavirus deaths?
Those are coronavirus deaths. There would be many, many, many more deaths because other people aren't getting treatment for things they need treatment for. Some people have said it's because Italy has an aging population, and that would make sense, but also because it got out of control there. The hospitals got overwhelmed straight away. They couldn't give people care, and so the death rate just went horrifically high. But the UK is over 10%. United Kingdom, with 90,000 cases, is over 11,000 deaths. That is really bad. And not that, so I think anyone who doesn't believe, why would you believe China? They lied so much. But they're recording 83,000 cases and 3,000 deaths.
It's the curve that you want to see.
Yeah, that flat one.
That's because the Chinese Communist Party like hiding things.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a total outrageous lie. Like, I don't think their numbers are like America, but I think it's reasonable to be a bit cynical about their numbers.
Have you seen the mass graves being dug in, I think it's off New York?
Yes, oh yes, New York and in a few places around the world. But look at good old Australia. We are so far down the list. Australia, 6,500 cases, only 61 fatalities. Like, we're doing really well. And you look at our graph also looks great.
Ooh, scroll down to Tasmania on that back list.
All right, I will. Hang on a sec. Tassie. 5 deaths in Tassie.
Yeah, so we're not doing that great.
Yeah, and there's the worry that you're about to get a little spike because of, well, the reason you're under quarantine. Yeah, so we're actually doing quite well. The Google map is...
I believe Tasmania was at least double the infected per capita than any other place in Australia, which kind of sucks considering that we've got the moat around the moat. You know, we're the island on the island nation. We should have been the most protected, you would think.
Yeah. If I share the Google one, they're interesting because, oh, what am I doing? Share screen, stop it. Because they have an infection rate per million population, which is an interesting statistic. No, that's not the screen I want. I want that screen. So, okay, those numbers are really little and you might not be able to see them. But it's saying worldwide, 1.9 million confirmed cases, which is 247 cases per million people. And
Control scroll up to zoom.
Sorry?
If you hold Control down and scroll up on your wheel mouse to zoom, there you go.
Nerd. Okay, so Australia.
If you look on the bottom of it, you'll find the password as well.
Yeah, I know. There's a password on the bottom of my laptop. Daniel just doesn't know when to quit. So Australia's right on that number. The United States is obviously much worse. So the infection rate per million people in the US is like 6 times worse than Australia. So we're like doing 6 times better than the US. Spain's way worse. It's like almost 3 times worse than the US. Italy's twice as bad as the US. Germany's got a really high infection rate. France has got a high infection rate. UK's got a high infection rate. See, look, okay, China, because of its massive population and those low numbers they're reporting, that's saying 58 cases per million people. I don't know anyone who really, truly believes China's telling us everything. But look, Belgium, some of the European countries have got weirdly high infection rates. Belgium, 2,700, which is 10 times higher than Australia. Portugal, 1,600, Austria, 1,500, Israel, 1,200, Sweden, 1,000 per million people. And Sweden did a really lax thing. They didn't like lock down at all, really, compared to everyone else. And it looked like it was working for a while. And apparently they're right on the edge of it spiraling and getting really bad. Ireland has a disturbingly high rate, 2,100, 1,200.
Oh no, my ancestors would be very depressed about Ireland.
Oh, Ireland's had worse problems than this when your ancestors were around, yours and mine. Luxembourg.
I know, hence Luck of the Irish being coined.
5,300, that's way high. Like 20 times higher than, and Iceland's really, with only 9 deaths, but Iceland with a small population has a high rate of infection. Estonia, 1,000. Yeah. Statistics. So many statistics. Yes. But we'll leave that off for the night. Going to go to bed. I've actually run like half an hour over, but that's okay because I got really agitated about. Oh, I think Gecko's showing us the open road. I want to see that.
Hello again.
It's on the open road. Just in
Hi,
time.
Gecko.
Yeah, I actually wanted to comment. I had to go take a ride. Earlier, talking about animation, and you mentioned someone in a beanie and drugs, and that made me think of Cheech and Chong.
Yes.
Was that
Yes.
part of it?
No, but Cheech and Chong were their own special drug humor, definitely.
Yeah. And then there was also an animation called The Regular Show. And
That's a
I don't
good
know.
one.
They have they call it a screen test or a pilot or something. It was on YouTube. It was black and white. I don't know if it was really a screen test or someone just made it after the fact to be funny. They were talking about LSD, and that's how they became the characters on the regular show. The gumball machine and the bird.
Okay. I'm gonna go to bed. Okay. You got. I just noticed. Shelf Warmer was saying the animation we were trying to think of was called Robin. I know that wasn't that about a little girl? Because there were two done by the same people in the same style, and one was for kids, and it was really sweet, and it was this little girl who would narrate everything that happened, and one was for stoner adults that had a guy.
Oh God, the sun.
Oh, we've gone straight into the sun. Sunrise. All right, I'm going to bed, so I hope you get some.
Here comes the sun.
I have an adventure I would like to go on tomorrow if you're online. I noticed see, I like to collect things that are on the side of the road occasionally. And tonight I noticed there was a traffic signal that someone had smashed down with their truck or car, and it's on the side of the road. So I might like to collect that if I have the time.
That's decorate the home.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. Okay.
Gecko?
Yeah. And I also found, sorry, I'm going to go to bed definitely, but massive high fives, high tens even to Shelf Warmer, who found the right show. It's called Robin, and I even recognize the name, Magnus Carlsen, and it was narrated by Dave Avallone.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining. It's always
thanks for having us, buddy.
be back. Oh, the show was called Robin. Shelf Warmer is a legend. That would have driven me crazy, but now I can just go to bed and be happy. So thank all you guys for joining on cam. Thanks everyone in the chat. I probably will be back.
You're welcome.
And it sounds like Gecko's going to take us on an adventure, which is going to be fabulous. But in the meantime, maybe an adventure. We'll see what happens. But I'll catch you.
All right, peace and love.
Peace, love, and mung beans to everyone. Look after yourself.